What's going on, people? Bear with me while I share this out for a moment. We can't go live as far as the Kickstarter is concerned yet. I'm still sitting in review, so I don't know if I don't know why I have these weird glares on my shirt. Thing just got cleaned. What did I get on it? Anyway, um, it's still sitting in review, the Kickstarter. So we can't launch the Kickstarter yet, of course. We weren't supposed to launch it for another hour. So I'm waiting to see if we get lucky and get the approval before that. Otherwise, we're just going to sit here and chit chat with you guys and, talk about the project and talk about the book, in general. That's all we can do right now. Like I said, for some reason, I've never had this happen. Anytime I've submitted my Kickstarters for review with less than an hour, it was approved. I have no clue why it's still sitting in review. And I mean, I understand the rules of Kickstarter. It says it can take up to 3 business days to be approved. But I've never had one take longer, than an hour. So we're going to hang out. It's 5:50 p.m. right now. We're going to hang out till 7 p.m. See if we get lucky and it gets approved before then, so we can launch it. So we shall see. Hang on a second. Yeah, the one time that I submitted for review on the site, because normally when I do submit it review, it is a day, usually a day ahead of time. And today's the one day that, I submitted it on the day because I wanted to make sure everything was kind of done with it before I submitted it, just so they could, definitely see everything. And yesterday I was typing in, let's see, what is that? So like yesterday we were, I was typing in all the rewards. Today I was typing in all the stretch goal. I mean, the add-ons, things like that. It's crazy that the one day that I did that, now we're sitting stuck in review. So I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, we're going to hang out with you guys. Lori Calcaterra is going to come on and chat with us about the book. Also, as you guys know, she wrote issues 4 through 8 for me. Chris sadly cannot be here. He is working a football game tonight. He does the commentary for one of the high schools or something there near them. But like I said, we're going to hang out with you guys and talk. Again, I'm hoping we get to launch at 7 p.m. Central tonight, a little over an hour from now. But I would not hold your breath. I can't believe that the first damn time, that I launched, that I hit the review thing on the same day. Again, out of 9 Kickstarters, I've done that. Every time I've hit review, within minutes, it's approved. This is the one time that it did. So I don't know. We'll see. Guys, let me know if you can hear me okay. Stay high in the comments. Let us know the comments are working. Um, are the comments not? Oh, there it goes. Okay, I was going to say, are the comments not working? So, but we got the Kickstarter's done. Um, it looks really nice. We had uh, uh, Chris Siloff helped us. Saloff, I think I'm saying his name right. Saloff. Anyway, he helped us do the tiers, with all the promo stuff. Uh, so he designed all the pretty promo stuff and all that. So what's up, Sean? What's up, Heather? What's up, everybody? What's up, Miss Jody? Um, we're hoping to launch at 7 p.m. I'm not approved yet. It's still sitting in review. Your project is in review. So I keep refreshing it every so often. Yeah, your project is in review. Stay tuned. You'll get a response by 17th of September, which is technically, well, it's not counting the weekend. So like I was telling you guys, for some reason, it's stuck in review. Kickstarter will do that sometimes. Luckily, I've never had it happen to me. I've heard other people where it take 3 or 4 to 5 days to get approved. I've had some people say that it took them up to 2 weeks and they had to send them an email to get somebody to figure out what the stall out was. So, I don't know. And of course, Andrea's with me tonight. So we're just going to hang out with you guys and talk Psycho Sal, answer any questions you might have, go over the Kickstarter. So you guys will know what all's on it, what you can expect to get, talk about the stretch goals and things like that. Yeah, well, technically it's 3 business days, is what it's supposed to be, up to 3 business days. And here's Miss Lori.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Andrea.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
So yeah, we're in. I was just telling them, filling them in, that we're in a stall right now.
Oh, yeah.
One time out of 9 Kickstarters that I clicked that review button on the same day I was planning to launch. Now it's a problem. Because every other one is the day before.
Murphy's Law. That's what it is. Like, you need it done right away, it won't go through.
Yeah, it did. It shocked the hell out of me. I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. I was like, it's so ready to go. Let's see, how do I share? Is there a way for me, because it's not launched yet, how can I show people my screen?
You can.
Okay.
Go to the preview of it. Like, you would go to the Kickstarter and say preview.
Yeah, I've got that pulled up.
Present it here.
How do I do that?
There's a little box with a plus in it at the bottom. Click that and it says share screen.
Oh, okay. Share screen.
Yeah, I do this too, where I send out the link. I just make it like people can go preview, because then they have chance to go shopping. They can pick out what they want. They can see all the exclusives. And so when it launches, it just makes it way easier for people just to go and back it.
So can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Chris Saloff did all the pretty stuff for me. He did a great job on it.
I love Chris Saloff. He's great.
Yeah.
His book is amazing too. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done a cover for one of his projects before. So he was super helpful with this. He knocked it out within a few days. But we're going to have a lot of cool stuff on this for everybody. Let me go over this real quick just to show everybody the Kickstarter, since they can see the damn thing at 7, or at least I got my fingers crossed. But we brought on some really, really great up and coming artists for you guys. Some of these guys, this is the first time they've ever had a published cover. So we've got my cover that's going to be on the Kickstarter that I wanted to have some fun with. And I did this kind of version of Psycho Sal meets the creator crew And so a little bit of animated style with us, you know.
I was like, I've never been on a cover before.
Me neither. So. But and then of course Dave Kemp is the featured cover artist on this Kickstarter,
Yeah.
and Dave absolutely killed that cover. He floored me when he sent it to me. I mean, absolutely killed it. And then of course we've got Kevin Lewis on here doing a cover with one of his Psycho Sally Garbage Pail Kids. I absolutely love that. It was such a cool concept.
We had a good chuckle with that one when you sent it to me, and I was like, "Oh my lord!" And I was like, "We're doing this in yellow." I was like,
Yeah, and I normally hate yellow, but it
"Oh, I
works great.
know. It was
So,
perfect.
yep, Dave Kemp did the colors on that one.
Yeah.
And then Twan, he's part of the project this go around. This is his first ever published cover, I believe, and he did a great job with this. And Dave Kemp did the colors for him on that one too, I believe.
Oh, that
And
feeling.
I don't know if Twan meant to do this, but I love it's almost like Michelangelo's
Yes.
Sixtine Chapel.
Yeah, with the finger.
Yeah, with
It's that the finger, the casual finger. But if
yep,
you guys zoom in on this, like the fingernail is coming off. It's so
yeah,
gross. It's that little bit of ew.
yep. It's right there.
Just gets
Um,
ya.
then we brought on Ryan Morris, who did a great job on his cover. He did the line
Yeah.
work on it, and I inked it for him. And Dave Kemp did the colors also. I
Gosh.
thought that was a great cover. I love the way he did Special Agent Sarah.
Sarah.
So
Is that the only cover? That's the only cover with her on it. Usually Sarah's like a fan favorite. You know what I mean? When you get
yeah,
variants and everybody loves drawing Sarah. I was amazed that this is the only one with her on it, but he knocked it out of the park. So it's gorgeous.
yeah, he really did. And
I love
of
Sarah.
course, Lacey Kruger. She normally does the Nuggets covers, you know.
Uh-huh.
I kind of wanted her to do something a little different. So, I thought a throwback to, since the book takes place in the 80s, I thought a
Yes.
throwback to Care Bears would have been great.
Path has a Care Bear too. So Big James Care Bear. And I was like, we could have a whole set of these. I'm excited.
Yep,
It's like I need
yep,
it
exactly.
for my Yeti. I just need vinyl stickers with all these messed up bears.
And then, of course, we brought Jason Turner back. He did a great job here with TL, TI,
TL.
Why do I always forget her initials?
Tony. It's Tony.
Yeah, I know it's Tony, but for some reason I can't really remember her initials.
Yeah.
But Tony, he did a great job with Tony with the Psycho Sal on the mask
Yeah.
into the wall, reflecting in the mirror. That was really good. And then, of course, Michael Gardner, I got to give him a lot of credit. He is doing some really good covers. This is his third cover ever.
Wow.
Yeah, he did Special Agent Victor Gray. I thought it was a great piece. Dave Kemp did the colors for him, I believe. And then,
His arm falls off.
yeah, I feel so bad for Dave because I drop so much work in general just on my own.
Yeah.
He's coloring 3 covers for me like right now. And then for those that may not know, hold on, let me get this. I want to prove my point on something on this because it has to do with these artists and these covers. But this is V Nunley. She's back for her new cover. I love her cover that she did with Victor Gray and one of the cemeteries in New Orleans on his knees in front of the angel statue. I thought that was such a great concept that she did. And then we also got Patrick Rasmussen Jr. I like he does airbrush work, and I like the creepiness that he did with this one. He gave it a real kind of raw look, you know.
Yeah.
He did the colors and everything himself, of course. But one of the things, let's see, how do I stop this? Okay.
Push all the buttons and see what happens.
Yeah, just push all the buttons. But one of the things, and one of the things I told these new artists, because I did this exact same thing when I started out. I was not going to color my own stuff. I'm not a colorist. And I told these artists when they wanted to do a cover for Psycho Sal, I was like, sure, okay, I'll tell you what, I like what you're kind of doing with the artwork. We'll bring you on, but here's the catch. You will hire a professional colorist to color your line work, whether it's Dave or someone else. I was like, that's non-negotiable. And I'm glad they took my experience and they took my word on that, because their line work was pretty good. But when you look at the covers after Dave put his touch to it, it's a whole different ball game. And a lot of new artists really need to learn from that.
Well, that and they all look kind of uniform to me. You know what I mean? Instead of just kind of all over the map. So I think, it makes them all skill wise too look uniform across.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Like even when I see my own work, even though I love my line work and stuff like that, I'm still growing, of course. But I've got 7 years, almost 8 years worth of experience in it. But it's still incredible what Dave does, even with my line work. I mean, it's so new artists really, really need to take that step and hire, whether they're in the country or out of the country, whatever the case may be, but a professional colorist to polish their work. But it's it's one of those,
like, you can learn from that too. You know what I mean? If you get a colorist or an inker that has more experience than you, a lot of times you can be like, okay, ask them questions like, how did you do this? Like what computer, because if you're using the same system, like you're both in Procreate or you're both in I don't know, name one. It's like, okay, what brush did you use to get this tech? So you can learn from that too, from that experience. So
yeah, it's definitely a win-win for sure. But let me show you guys a few other things here. And so we've got all the normal, like I still kept the majority of this extremely affordable for everyone. We kept all the guest artists, at $15 covers and stuff like that to stay affordable. For those that don't know, with Psycho Sal, like we broke down the numbers one time, and it blew me away when I broke down the actual physical numbers from paying, from the entire creation of the book. It turned into about $16, almost $17 per book to have this book created.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's insane. Now I could save some money there if I had the time to draw the interiors myself, color the interiors myself. So there is room there that I could, negate some of that money if I had the time and the ability to go in there and do it. But again, if I did that, we would be seeing one book a year. And right now we're dropping 4 books a year. But we still kept it affordable for you guys. We kept everything at $15 books. I did a small increase on certain things, so I still tried to keep it affordable. But we got all the covers on here, at great prices. Of course, Dave is the feature artist, so his is going to be a little bit higher for the Kickstarter. But we did stuff like the all covers, like we brought the all regular trade dress bundle back for a great price. We've got the foils on here for you guys. And let me know if I'm going too fast, guys. I just want to get kind of through this, and then I want to chit chat with Lori about the book and stuff like that. But yeah, we got all the normal stuff. We got the foils. We got the all foil trade dress bundle. We've got the medals.
You're doing the red medals again?
Yes. Oh yeah, we did the blood medals too. Now don't get me wrong, what you're going to see on here isn't the final result. In person, it's a whole different ball game. You can only do a red tint so much in Photoshop and stuff on a book. And here's what I'm talking about. You see how they are. They're still good looking.
No, they're gorgeous in person.
Yeah, you can tell they're kind of flat and whatever because of the way the red tint works in this type of format. But when you see these things in person, holy hell, they are ridiculous. From the foils to the medals, they are just incredible. But yeah, we got the blood medals back, the blood foils, the blood trade dresses. We also, of course, brought back the all blood bundles. Then we also did the medals for those. But the other thing we brought back for you guys, that the first time we ever did them was on the last Kickstarter, and that's the blood metal embossed. These things are ridiculous in person. These will be limited to 1 of 1 and never to be reprinted again. So every single artist on the Kickstarter has a blood metal embossed trade dress. Yeah, these things are ridiculous, man. They are gorgeous in person. But let me get to the stretch goals for you guys. I also, something I didn't have in the past that I added on this, we've had the back issues bundles before, but I also have the full Psycho Sal issues 1 through 9 bundle too. So you'll be able to get that on that. The other thing I did is, on previous Kickstarters, I had the slaughter packs and I had the cosplay tiers, the box. So they were different things. So I combined them on this Kickstarter to make it easier for you guys. So I took all the goodies in both boxes and put those into one box. So now the Psycho Sal cosplay slaughter box comes with all 9 regular trade dress covers. It comes with a Psycho Sal head sketch on a Psycho Sal blank in full color. It comes with the Psycho Sal's rain poncho, his mask, his knife. It comes with an evidence bag with one of the voodoo cards in it, and it comes with a police report about one of the murders. So we combine that. Of course, we have the full page ad for somebody. That's a great thing to do. Full page inside front cover for somebody who wants to promote their online store, their brick and mortar. Hell, even indie creators, that's a great way for you to promote your upcoming IPs. Lori's done promoting with her IP in one of the books before. So is Charter Comics. We've got 2 half-page ads you can buy for the inside back cover. We brought back the William Russell sketch tier. The other thing that's new to this one that's never been on any of the other Kickstarters, 3 items pertaining to Psycho Sal original art. So Psycho Sal number 2, 11x17 cover pencils by me for issue number 2. Issue number 1, Psycho Sal interior splash page by me of the first murder victim you guys are exposed to, what some people have started calling the crucified angel. And the other one is the original inks to my Psycho Sal number 8 cover. So we added the stretch goals here is something I want everybody to really pay attention to too, is we brought back the classic Psycho Sal bookmarks everybody loves. We've added Kevin Lewis Garbage Pail Kid. So it's going to be the size of an actual garbage pail card from the 80s. So yeah, we're going to do that. I'm going to try to figure out a way to do it where it's the actual legit sticker style of the Garbage Pail Kid. So you could pull the little sticker of the character off and put it on something. We also did Dave's 4x6 mini print. We did my cover as one of the 3-inch stickers. Now here's the one that I need everybody to pay close attention to.
He's going to get my face.
So we've got 2 types of stretch goals for the $15,000 and the $20,000. At $15,000, every single physical backer, no matter how much you back the Kickstarter for, you get a 4x6 mini print of Twan's cover. If you back the Kickstarter by $80 or more, and we hit $15,000, every single physical backer that pledged $80 or more gets a Psycho Sal trucker hat.
Okay, this is where Lori calls you insane again.
Yep. Well, there's a catch on this one, even though it's not as much of a catch as it should be, because I looked at older Kickstarters where somebody did a hat as a stretch goal, and they were doing $20,000, $25,000, and it had like $100, $150 minimum pledge.
I was like, don't do hats as stretch goals. How about that?
No, you know me. I like to shake.
No, that's why I'm like, oh, William.
I like causing trouble.
Like,
you do have to back the Kickstarter by $80 or more to get the hat. At $20,000, we've got the normal metal bookmarks for every single physical backer that pledge no matter how much. But if you pledged $150 or more on the Kickstarter, you get a Psycho Sal hoodie.
Just kind of do it.
And of course, we threw in a fun one at 25,000. At 25,000, every single book in the Kickstarter is signed for free by me. So
Heather's like, I want that hoodie.
well, like I said, and the other thing I added to this one, Lori, to help you guys with bigger purchases, I moved the Kickstarter from 20 days to 30 to help you, save your money, and everything should be okay there. The other thing I did is I added the pay over time option.
Oh, you did?
Yep. Now, you do have to spend, I think if I read it right, Lori, you have to spend $125 or more to use that.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, so what it does, if I read it correctly, it breaks your total up into 3 payments, I believe. They take the first payment right when the Kickstarter ends that day, and then it's either the next week or the next 2 weeks. They take the rest of the balance is split up. So this one is big. And like I said, I'm not trying to sound like an ego person or nothing, but I need everybody to show up and show out on this one. There is no damn reason we can't do $20,000 on Psycho Sal. There's too many fans for Psycho Sal.
It's the last one. Like you should.
That too.
This it. You need it.
So now that I've talked about the Kickstarter a little bit, let's talk about the book a little bit, because that's what most people. And guys, if you're in the chat, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We'll do our best to answer them without any spoilers or anything like that, of course. But so Lori, you have your own book. You have Path of the Pale Rider. You're on like issue number 7. That just wrapped up Kickstarter not too long ago. It's one hell of a read if you guys aren't reading Path of the Pale Rider.
Yeah, it's
but
wild.
It is a bit different.
Oh yeah, is it? I think it's exactly the same.
A little bit. Oh, awesome, Heather. Thank you. That's really great to hear. Yeah, it's funny, on the last Kickstarter, I shocked people by giving away $8,000 worth of Psycho Sal t-shirts. And then I pissed people off.
I tried to talk them out of it.
I saw some of the screenshots. That shit was hilarious. But so what have you, as a creator, as a writer who's extremely talented, what has been your thoughts about, because we brought you in on issue number 4 to start writing the female victim's perspective. Initially, you were just going to do 4, 5, and 6 because Chris was going to come back and do 7, 8, 9 because of the perspective changes. But Chris ended up having to change jobs, and everything got chaotic. And dealing with, because he runs 2 comic shop, a comic shop and 2 Comic-Cons, and all the
travels for work. And
yeah. So what's been your thought about the process of the Psycho Sal, and when I brought it to you and I told you what I was trying to do, and what was your real thoughts about it? I want your
unfiltered. Right? All right. So again, like when you and I first met, Chris was talking to me about you. I had met Chris first, right? For Charter, and talked about Path, and we were talking about Ferryman, we were talking about books. And he was like, and you need to meet William. And I was like, all right. And he was like, he's not scary. And I was like, and that's what you're first going to tell me about this person? He's not really that scary, and he won't bite you. Awesome. But he was like, yeah, he's doing this book where it's changing perspectives. And, I recommended you for this middle section where it's, female victim point of view. And he said to William, it's really important that the voice be authentic. That if it's a woman writing a female victim, to bring in all those insecurities and the fears that we have, which, men just can't, I don't know. You probably depends on the writer, but I think it has an air of authenticity to it with TL, because this the things that I'm afraid of. You know what I mean? As a woman. So when he was talking to me about it, I was like, that's cool. I haven't heard of that before. And first thing I said to him was, I don't want to write the female character. I want to write the psychopath at the end. He was like, no, Lori, come back here. You need to do the female one. And I was like, but hear me out. I want to do the psychopath. So it's just kind of fun that like I got to do a little bit of both. right?
Yeah.
Because I got to build this TL character, and I put some of my own self into her. The cello playing, that's me. The tuning forks, that was me. But putting that into her character and making her a little piece of me walking through is not only satisfying but terrifying, because her fears are mine as well. And so getting to know Psycho Sal through Tony, and then having to walk around in his shoes and build traps and all the cool things that he's gonna do, and I was just like, it was quite an experience to put on his boots and his mask and walk around in your world for a while. And that's one of the coolest parts about this collaboration, is that Path, I can walk around in Path all the time whenever I want to, right? But
Right.
when a creator trusts me with their world and is like, help me fine tune this story, help me make it more exciting, help me build the foreshadowing, I'm there for that. I love doing that stuff. And so this has just been a blast the whole time. I've had a great time. And then when you were like, hey, do you want a letter? I was like, sure. Like, do more for Psycho Sal, yes please. And then seeing all the covers come in, and because you were showing them off, but it's like I watched them get designed, and I watched them get colored, and I watched them, and then trying to figure out how to dress the covers, because some of them I was like, oh, how are we gonna fit the logo on here? But we did. We always figure it out. But I think it makes it so cool to see something from 3 years ago when we just first met, and and Chris told me not to be afraid of you, which I wasn't. I think we've always had it off. We've always had it off. You know what I mean? But to see where we are now,
I'm an angel. I don't know what people are talking about.
It was just like, don't be intimidated by William. And I was like, okay. I was like, do you forget that I knife fight for fun? I'm like, it's fine.
I think what he's trying to warn you about is I'm blunt. I'm too busy. I don't have time for bullshit. I don't have time for fake stuff. And that was one of the things I told him. I was like, I really, because he was like, oh, well, you don't have to do the perspective change. We can write it different. I was like, no, I get that. And I'm sure he could have.
Yeah.
I know that he's a talented writer, but I've read books written by women, and I've read books written by men, and regardless, there's a different feel to it.
Right. Now, exactly. When we wrote, which issue is it where she's nude I think it was 6.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
And she's nude the entire issue. Yeah. There's a different feel to it from a woman's perspective, right? Yeah. Because I'm not writing anything salacious in there. Exactly. It's because he took away her safety. He took away her feeling of any kind of security. You know what I mean? To be nude and to be, exposed and vulnerable. Yep. That's what she was. And so, when we talked about issue 6, it was interesting to me because the team at some point was like, should we put an explicit rating on this, or mature rating, because she's nude the entire time? And I think someone on the team was like, are people going to come for us because she's nude all the time? And I was like, you let them come for me. You tell them, Calcaterra, that's a lady. Like, she wrote it that way because the vulnerability. Like, you can, when you read it again, it's like, from a woman's point of view, being nude in front of a killer, in front of a serial killer, a tormentor, it's just, again, it's nothing sexy.
There's definitely nothing sexy. And it doesn't matter if it was a man or a woman. In that scenario, there's nothing sexy about that. You can't get more vulnerable than standing in a dark, cold room in front of a killer. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, when you're that raw, there's absolutely nothing between you and that person that gives you any form or feeling of safety.
But again, it's like, when I don't know if a man wrote it that way, would it be perceived the same way?
I think if it's written that way, I think it can lend itself that way. But
Yeah.
I still don't think, because again, being that vulnerable, it is going to be different a little bit from man to women. There's no way for it not to be.
Yeah.
But in that rawness of it, I mean, if you like think like guys can like think, and this goes for anybody, but think about any time you've ever been getting out of the shower and you hear some weird ass noise.
Yeah.
The first thing, like even as a man will tell you the first thing they do is grab a towel
Yep.
or grab their shorts or grab, everybody grabs something, you know.
I think it would be great to just grab a knife and run out stark naked and chasing a burglar. They won't know what to do. That's the
I've only done that once, but it's one of those things. Like if you've ever been getting out of the bathtub, the shower, and you heard something, the first thing you do is grab a towel or grab a shirt or grab something. Like that could do any damn thing if somebody was actually there. That's
fall off anyway.
It's that sense of. So I'm glad you wrote it that way, because I didn't originally have it, designed that way in my notes and stuff. That was something that you took and you ran with, and I was glad you did, because it definitely strips you of anything that can make you feel safe.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the whole point. That's the point of what Psycho Sal is. Like some people, like when I did that cover that time for issue number 5 or whatever it was, it's an homage to the Killing Joke. Oh no, the Batgirl 41 cover. And there was on the Kickstarter itself, there was a nude version. Mm-hmm. And it was only on the Kickstarter. So, and I did have somebody at one point when we revealed it, they kind of, oh, look, you're promoting SA. And we're like, no, that's, of course I explained, no, that's not promoting SA. And then that was the end of the conversation, because I'm not going to argue with some idiot on Facebook. So I blocked them and rolled on. But I only had one person say that. And the whole point to that, again, it was to make you hate him. Because one of the things we see in horror all the time now, especially in the last 15 years, too many people side with the bad guy.
Yeah.
Whether it's through jokes and one-liners, or whether it's some sob backstory that you felt bad about, or the characters that he's killing were all those cliche characters that bullied us in high school any damn way, so we didn't give a shit, Mm-hmm. We want.
There is that art, though. Like creating a killer that is universally disliked by everybody is hard to do, and not to be cliche, because it's like, yeah, he's like Joffrey Baratheon from Game of Thrones. There was nothing redeeming or likable about this character, right? So it's like Psycho Sal, same way. Like he doesn't care your background. He doesn't. His agenda is to kill. That's it. He's going to cause terror. He's going to mess with your psyche. He's going to terrorize you, and then you're dead. And that's it. There's like, you can't fall in love with this dude. Good luck.
No, there's nothing about him. And that's the way it's been. Like everyone, knock on wood. I'm so grateful for this. Every single person that has read Psycho Sal absolutely has loved the book. I have not had a negative comment yet, a negative report, a negative opinion. And again, and trust me, I understand there could be people floating around that didn't really care for it and they just don't want to say nothing. Sure, that's possible.
But everybody has their own.
Well, but my point about
I feel like if they like horror, they enjoy this. They enjoy it.
Well, that's been one of the most interesting things about me. What's up, Lou? About it is I've got people hooked on Psycho Sal that are not horror fans
and not comic book readers too.
That one too. Yep. And one of them. Now she's hooked. I've got several fans that they were not horror fans. They were not comic fans. And what I thought was really interesting, and that was one of the things if you remember, you and I talked about, and I talked about it with Chris, I was like, I don't want this to read like a comic book.
No.
And that's been the biggest compliment I've had from people who are not comic fans, and including people that are comic fans. One of the things I've heard a lot is, I love the way the book reads. I love that it doesn't feel like I'm reading a comic book.
It's like you're watching a movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I mean, I think that's something to be super proud of, because everybody falls into the cliche shit now. Everybody falls into the easy gimmick stuff.
No.
And, you know, whether it's TNA or whether it's comedy or whether it's just straight up superhero and half naked women, you know, and I'm not bad mouthing anybody that does that. I'm just saying that is a niche market for an easy market for a reason.
I haven't done
So
any of those things.
I haven't
Like,
either.
nope, nope, nope.
I haven't either, but you know, I won't lie. You know, it is a bit like we talked about this. It is a bit frustrating sometimes seeing stuff that you know is nowhere near the quality of yours
Yeah.
doing twice the numbers you're doing just because they're crutching on some easy stuff. So, but that's what. But still, though, I love being able to sit back and have people. I mean, I think me personally, I think that's an extremely difficult thing to do, is get people who are not horror fans reading horror, who are
Mhm,
not comic fans reading your book.
mhm.
And of course that's, you know, that's paying, in my opinion, that's, you know, paying tribute to you and Chris and the incredible writing you guys have done. Because
Doing.
I'm not a writer per se, and I just give you guys my notes, and you know, and my notes are all over the damn place. You know, like y'all
Because they
have to,
are.
yeah.
Because they are. But say we put it
Oh,
together. Oh,
yeah.
Lou.
Huh?
I wanted to tell Lou, by the way, if you read Psycho Sal, there's shout outs to Path of the Pale Rider hiding in there. So there's a
Yep.
character named Jude, and there's a character named Dwayne in the story. So you guys that are, if you read Path and you go read Psycho Sal, you'll be like, wait a minute. Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
that's because Lori's writing it. And I'm like, this character's name is Dwayne.
That's right. And you know, and that's something else I appreciate with you guys, because that was one of my biggest fears when we first started doing Psycho Sound. Again, because I'm not a writer, I'm trying to learn to write. I wrote Curse Moonlight, and Lori was gracious enough to kind of read the script and give me some help and pointers. And I'm almost done with the Mummy book, my other one shot that I'm writing. And Lori again was gracious enough to read it and give me some feedback and stuff that I've got to implement. But you know, all I had was, when it came to Psycho Sal, especially on day one 3 years ago, was just a notebook full of notes. And I was scared to death about having someone take my notes and write it, because I was worried as an artist, I mean, as a writer, they would just kind of ignore what I wanted, and they would just run with their own thing and say, here, this is what I got, and not really put any type of passion into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, I hear that.
but you
We
guys
as
did
we as
incredible.
writers feel the same way too, where I'm like, hey, my comic is this and that and this, and people are like, here's a cover, and I'm like, ah, it doesn't capture anything that I
Yeah,
just said.
I've had that
So
happen too. I've seen the covers that are straight up phoned in, no
yeah,
passion,
exactly.
no effort, just here you
But I
go.
mean, for me as a writer, and I was still fairly new when that happened, when Chris was like, hey, you want to write for William, and I was like, yes, I've never done this before. Yes,
I
like,
bet you didn't know that.
and then but again, it's like, how do you make people happy and continue to build that resume and have people come back and
Right.
hire you again? Is everybody's got to be happy. So when William came to you with notes, I was like furiously taking notes. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And building around that. That was the foundation in order to create the story to make him happy first, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, now we can go back and edit. But if he's not happy, then again, it's like he's not coming back and calling me, like, oh,
Right.
you want to come back and write the next one? Why?
Yeah.
If I
Yeah. And,
find
and that's what I got to give you guys props to, because Chris did the same thing. He listened to what I had to say. He followed my notes, but then he added his own flair to a lot of it. And then you did the same thing, because I don't do hand holding per se.
yeah.
You know, I just kind of give my concept and my ideas. And then I was kind of letting you guys connect all the dots and everything in between those key moments that need to happen. And you guys killed it. Especially, especially
Literally
the, yeah,
kill them all.
well, again, I love Chris. He did a great job on issues 1, 2, and 3, and setting the table. But I mean, I definitely got to give you props, Lori. What
Roast
you
table.
did coming on with 4 through 8, like turning the heat up on every single book how I wanted it to be, and really creating this book and this environment that is meant to be terrifying, that is meant to open people's eyes about how you really and truly don't live in no magic damn bubble, and you could be a victim at any damn moment. So you guys did great, man. It's like, I am so proud of it. I am beyond ecstatic of how it's went. It's hard to believe that we've done 9 books in
Yeah.
3 years. That's big for indie.
That is big for indie.
I mean, most indie creators are doing 1 book a year, maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's another credit to you guys. The fact that you guys, including Marcelo with the interior art and Marcy with the interior colors, which sadly they can't be on here, but everybody respecting what I was trying to do about having a book out every single quarter. And again, that's not easy, especially when you're working on your own projects on the side, also doing your thing, you're traveling to shows. So, thank you for that. I absolutely adore you guys for that, for respecting what I'm trying to do.
I really laughed because William's like, hey, you want to do the next one? I was like, sure. He's like, how does 2 weeks sound for a script? And I was like, dear God. Like, I was like, can I have 3 weeks, please?
Yeah, it's crazy when you're negotiating. Can I just have an extra couple of days?
Like, I have 1 more week. I was like, I'll get it done though, I promise. And I did. Like I met every deadline.
Yeah.
But you're always
everybody's, like I said, the crazy thing is, the only time I've really had deadline issues were fucking cover artists. That's it. The people doing the easiest part of the whole damn process. Now, mind you, they had 2.5 months to do a cover in some cases and still missed the deadline while they weren't doing shit else. Well, guess what? They're not working for me or anybody I know either.
That's the problem.
That's the way it goes. Because I mean, it's you have to, whether you're a writer, whether you're an inker, penciler, colorist, cover artist, whatever your market is, the niche, the spot you're in, you have to respect other people's time, other people's projects, and you have to meet those deadlines when you give your damn word, as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you.
So, and you guys killed it. So, I mean, like I said, I can't thank you enough. It is, yeah, exactly. And I can't wait for people to read issue number 9. Holy shit!
Up.
Well, issue number 8 is rough.
I'm going through like putting the word bubbles in. I was like, shit. I'm like going in. I'm putting SFX, and things are blowing up. I'm like, shit. Then I get to the end and I'm like, shit. So, I mean, you guys are in for a roller coaster. It's going to
we told you guys issues. The whole design of this book has been old school Hitchcock. I told them that from the get-go. I want it to be old school style Hitchcock, where it starts out with tension and it just applies that pressure, not only page after page, but book after book. And it's amazing what you've done, especially 4 through 8. Issue 8 is heartbreaking as hell, and issue 9 is going to be an absolute kick in the mouth.
Hey, at least I didn't kill anybody's horses.
I have to
saying.
Yeah.
I killed horses, children, and dogs, and that's people come for me. I didn't do any of that in this one. I promise.
We did kick a puppy, but
we kicked a puppy. When did we kick a puppy?
What's up, Michael? But yeah, it's been an interesting ride, and also, again, this is, issue number 9, Angelica, issue number 9.
How many pages is issue 9? I think it's 30.
Oh shit, it's like what, 34, 36?
36 pages.
Yeah, it's a giant size issue. How long is it?
You needed to blow things up on a lot of pages.
It's bad. Like it's all hell breaking loose in issue number 9, and it's all happening very quick.
I mean, as it should. We already set up all the stuff. Like issue 8 sets it all up, and issue 9 just knocks down all the dominoes. So, page 1, you're in it.
Well, who's been your favorite character out of all the books so far?
I am, of course, attached to TL.
Yeah.
How could I not be? That's my girl. You know what I mean? She didn't exist in the first three. I got to flesh her out and walk around in her shoes a lot, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, for everything that she went through and everything that she became. I was there with her. So she's definitely my favorite. I love Sarah and I love Vic, but again, it's like I wasn't there from the beginning with them. So it's kind of like they exist outside of me and I see them, but I can still see them very easily, how they interact and how they talk. And, you know what I mean? So they're set in my mind a certain way, but TL is like, I live and breathe through her in that story.
Yeah, that TL is, and when I gave you my notes about her, you remember one of the main things I told you was she has to be that type of person, because we've all met that type of person.
Yeah.
That one, the minute you meet them, you're in love with them.
Yeah.
That they're not fake. That light is shining strong. Like you're absolutely in love with them. That's a good person.
Mm-hmm.
And you did. You killed it with how you wrote her, and it broke everybody's heart. Everybody that read those issues where she was going through all the torture and everything. I mean, it absolutely broke people's heart. I've had 2 people do what?
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, like 4 was like me letting everybody get to meet her and fall in love with her as a person. Hi, Ray. And then there's a catalyst, something happens, and then things start to change. And then 5 was like the torture, you know what I mean? The psychological games that he plays. And then 6 was like she's in it. So it was it was like it was almost like crafting a downfall, like creating something beautiful and slowly destroying it. So it was beautiful in creation, but heartbreaking in the destruction. And then she becomes something completely different.
Yeah.
So.
And and the other thing I'm glad we did, I love the fact that all his, because it's not necessarily like, it's not a in your face hack and slash horror comic. It's a psychological thriller. It's a psychological horror. And I love the fact that we had him start breaking her down mentally before he ever even took her.
Yes.
So, I mean, and that show again, that
building that dread,
Yeah.
But again, it's like we didn't get to see that in the first 3. We just saw them as corpses. You know what I mean? So it was like, it's already terrifying to see the body horror of what these people went through. But then to know that he's psychologically, hi, Gerald. Yes, I know. I'm simultaneously in 3 things. That's because that's what I do. But yes, so like him, it's like, that this is where it's going to go to, but you didn't realize that he was courting them in his mind.
Yeah, in a way.
He's spending the time and showing them love. And it's like, it's warped what he's doing. So you get to experience that through TL that you didn't get to experience that with these first 3 victims in the books, first 3 books. So I thought that was interesting, to see that point of view, that there's more to it than him just, taking you apart.
Yeah. And that's, again, that's the whole point that lends back to what we're talking about creating a character. And it is hard to do, to create a pure character that everyone hates. It's so hard to do. You have to be very careful with how you present him. You have to be very careful with how you write him, the tone, his actions, like everything about it has to be strategically planned out and looked at through a microscope almost. Because you can't allow the levity in there. You can't allow the one-liners or the jokes or the sarcasm or anything. But then you also still have to create this character that is interesting.
Yes, it can't be flat. They can't be 2D. They have to be 3D, and they have to move and breathe in the world.
He has to be like looking at a car wreck. Like that's what he has to be. He has to be watching a car wreck or a train wreck. It has to be that moment that people slow down and they don't want to look, but they have to look. And that you guys have done an incredible job with, like I said, taking the notes and creating this character. And of course, Andrea, like she's never been a comic person, and she's hooked on.
Got you.
She was one of them that was like that. Never read comics, never messed with comics. And now she's hooked on not only Psycho Sal, but she's hooked on Path of the Pale Rider and a bunch of other ones.
Poor Andrea. She's like,
Yeah.
damn it, Lori. You're hot
So-
sauce.
To be so good.
That's right. So what? So you being so give so people can hear like from a fan's perspective now, someone who was not a comic collector. What have you thought? Because you're caught up on the books, you're all the way up to issue number 8. What is your thoughts on it as someone coming from the outside and being exposed to it?
Well, I like that it's a serious read because I'm a novel reader and I like books that have depth and the fluffy stuff is okay, but I like meat, and it really provides meat. It gives you emotions. I mean, you go from angry to sad to scared to sobbing. Like number 8, I sobbed. Just I texted him. I was like, "Why? Why did you do this?" It was horrible.
Sorry, it's me. Don't get attached to anybody.
It's like you said, it starts off with that tension, like, oh my gosh, you open it up and it's immediately, what? Already?
Yep.
But then it keeps that, like you said, that burn, it just keeps going. And then 8, of course, I don't know how you're going to top it. Obviously, you're going to, but
Oh, it's crazy.
so I like it because it's a serious read. Honestly, is one of the main things. And I love horror. Horror is my favorite genre at all. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And that's, I think, one of the things that I pride myself. I hate the fluff. I don't like extra material just to throw it in there. Everything is pinpoint precision. Yep. Everything leads to something. And if I'm spending time showing you something, it's because it comes into play later. It's important. And so I've had people even with Path that are like, why did you take a whole page to do this? And I was like, did you see what was on that page? It might be important later, So
that's the best kind of reads. Like I understand creating a world and trying to immerse someone into it by describing things but sometimes a lot, especially in comics, a lot of people overtalk everything.
Well, it's the medium that you have to understand. It's a visual medium, so I don't need to explain to you what's going on in the background. William already drew it. You know what I mean? Like the artist already drew it. Gilbert, my artist, is fabulous at this because I might give you a paragraph of what's going on in this panel, and most of it's art, and he got one line.
Yep.
But the art needs to tell the story just as much or even more than the dialogue. Because it's not just the dialogue, it's the body language, the position, the camera angle, the action, the emotion that comes through. And so to me, that's understanding the medium. If you get a comic and it's full of words, someone is not understanding what they're doing.
Yeah, otherwise I'm just going to go read a novel. I mean,
right.
I don't need you explaining the atmosphere and the coffee mug and all this shit in a comic book.
The atmosphere was cold and my coffee was even colder.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like I get it for novels.
Yeah, you have to have that. Well, when you're writing
because there's no pictures.
You have to show with your words, but you can
I want to try writing a novel. I want to try. I haven't done it. I've done screenplay. I've done comic. Huh?
I completely give you guys so much credit on writing because, yes, I've been around comics all my life. Yes, I've been creating comics for the last 3 years. And yes, I can sit and write tons of notes and stuff like that. And, then I knew when I wanted to do Cursed Moonlight, my one-shot comic about 2 of my daughters versus a werewolf in the Appalachian Mountains, I knew I wanted to write that. And I've been working on the idea for a while. I had my notes and all that, and I started writing the story. The story, okay, that's not too bad. I can handle that. But when it comes time to really write the story, as a non-writer that just kind of knows how it is because I've been reading y'all scripts for 3 years, I'm like, okay, I think I can do this. And then I sat down and tried it, and I'm like, holy shit, I am not writing no ongoing damn series. I will pay somebody else to do this.
I'm here. Don't worry. I'm here for you.
So, I mean, and again, I know that it's lack of experience and it's lack of knowledge on it. I get that. But it's still very overwhelming.
Well, and it's like you have to understand what you're trying to build, because with like William, he builds, a cover for me. He puts the subject where it needs to go. He understands that there's going to be a title that you have to give it space. He builds the lines, and then he goes and he builds in the highlights and the shadows. And that's what you're doing in a story. Yeah. You have to have a beginning, middle, and end. You have to have character development. And, Kendall has a great point. He said a lot of times the reader's imagination should be given the chance to think of what's happening before letting them know. And so being able to foreshadow, being able to build dread, that's what takes time to understand how to implement those things for pacing in a story. So that's where I think people get hung up. But once you get like, okay, at the beginning, a middle, and end, I got to do the character thing, and this is the things that I need to have in it so it makes sense. Put it down on paper, and then we can whittle away at it and make it more interesting. Like, have there be more excitement. Let me get to know characters before, it's like with spoiler alert on Path of the Pale Rider, we kill a horse in issue 1. But everybody is devastated by this horse being killed off because we get to know her, and it's a horse. Like, everybody is emotionally attached to this horse. And then you keep reading and you understand that even though she's dead, she can still come back later in the story because of how the world works. And so again, it's like you're feeling emotions, and then as you keep going, the story can change. So it's nuanced, and it's this, again, it just takes time and effort. And for me, I will never be able to do sequential art. I will never be able to do a fabulous cover. I could work on it for 10 years maybe and do it, but where I am right now, that's why I work with William, because he is skilled in an area that I am not. So if you are an artist and you have a story that you want to develop, hit us up. There's writers out there that will do this. You know what I mean? Maybe in exchange, we barter, right? So it's like, I will write issues in exchange for covers. I did this with Terry Parr too recently. I wrote an issue for his series called Gemini Force, which is nothing that I've ever written before. It's like Saturday morning cartoons, girls in space, cloned 80s rockers. Like, it's wild, and I've never done it, right? And so that's a challenge to me. And it's like, and I love Terry's art, and I get to use it in Path. So, find us writers that want to collaborate, because it helps everybody. And then we, like, we go to Comic-Cons and we kill it when we're both there, because it's like, oh, do you like Path? You like Psycho Sal? Do you like this cover? Meet William. He did this cover. Oh, he'll sign it for you. Yes, I'll come sign Psycho Sal. Absolutely. Like, you know what I mean? So we work together and send people back and forth, and we have a good
it definitely is, especially when you find people you click with that have the same, and that's another thing too that I loved about you and Chris, is when it comes to this stuff, you guys have the same work ethic that I have. So it's not about, oh, I don't feel like it today. My cousins, brothers, nephews, uncles got anal leakage, so I need a couple days off to recover from his shit. So, that's what I love about you guys. You have the same work ethic, and you have to have that in this industry. Yeah. You can't. This is such an easy, out of sight, out of mind industry in general. Then on top of it, you got thousands of other people that are working just as hard as you. And then you have the people who are half-assing it also, that are stealing some of the attention just because. But they got the worst work ethics I've ever seen on some of them. But so I was super glad of that, because, again, when I tell, when I tell you guys I need something for this, or I need something for that, or you tell me that, it's not me sitting around or you sitting around making up excuses of why it can't be done. You go get it done. And that's the way it should be. So I'm glad of that too. That makes a big difference. So
William's like, hey, can we do this? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. It should be yes. You know,
Yeah,
when
William is Psycho Sal, Gerald. See, this is bringing worlds together because Gerald has heard me talk about working on Psycho Sal. This is William's IP that he let me walk around the world, and I got to craft the story for issues 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I letter now the series. So I lettered 8, and I finished lettering. It's done. Finished lettering number 9. So yeah, aren't they, Gerald? Gerald does really awesome covers too. Just so you know,
we're still stuck
you're still stuck.
in
Bummer.
review. This is so damn stupid. I've never ever had one stuck in review. I don't know if it's that or
yeah,
or if it's Psycho Sal being weird. I mean Psycho Sal being weird. It started acting weird earlier today. Like it was taking forever to save stuff when I was putting on add-ons and stuff, and they kept saying page unviewable and things like that. So something weird was going on today. So I'm thinking something has went buggy on their site. Because I've never had a review take more than a few minutes to an hour at the most. And I submitted my review at 8 a.m. this morning.
Crazy.
So
for everybody that's watching, Gerald actually has a book that's live right now too. And it's called Immortal Coil. And it's a trade, is it not? It's a collected, it's like 80 something pages, Gerald. Let me go look. Or if you type it in, that'd be great. But he has some great stuff too, William. Like I love both of you guys because there's some talented art out there. People that are committed to their craft. There's good stuff.
There's a lot of good artists. There's a lot of great up and coming artists too. And that's something else I wish more people would do. Like I've had people be pissy at me because I share my platform with up and coming artists. What are you hiring them for? Why aren't you hiring, me or this person or that person? And I'm like, because isn't that the point of our platforms, is to lift up other people, give people opportunities that they normally may not get? That's supposed to be the point. That's the preaching that I've heard, I don't know how many damn people running their mouth about, but of course they never practice it. Mortal Coil.
Yeah, this is Gerald's book. So it's funded. He's got 108 backers. It's got 10 days left. But that cover is really dope. Like both of these covers are great, Gerald, but I don't know. I think this one in a red foil would be so nice.
Yeah, that would look good as a foil.
Yeah. They both would.
Well, there you go, guys. Go check out Mortal Coil.
It's collected in full color, 86-page volume. So that's what I wanted to show everybody. I'll drop the link in the chat, Ola. Or I think I'll put it on my Facebook one stream. So you guys can check that out if you would like.
But yeah, guys, we were hoping to launch Psycho Sal at 7 p.m. tonight, but I don't know what's going on with Kickstarter today. Like I said, it was acting weird earlier today, not saving shit, not taking forever to save something when it finally did. So I don't know if there's something buggy going on with it, but we're not going to get to launch it tonight at 7 p.m. Central like I wanted. So I'll probably go update the post stating the launch time. I'm probably going to move it to like Monday at 7 p.m. Central. I sent them an email. So hopefully, I'll hear something from them. I doubt I'll hear shit from them this weekend because most people don't work the weekend.
Yeah.
So, sadly, it is what it is on that. Nothing I can do about it. So I'm probably going to update the post here in a minute, move the launch time to 7 p.m. Central Monday, and cross our fingers. If it were to go review approved, as soon as I see it approved, I will make a post and I will launch the sucker then. But as of right now, we're not going to get to launch it tonight. Again, I've done 9 Kickstarters and I've never had the preview take longer than a handful of minutes. So this is really weird.
I've had it take a couple days, and then I had it take like 2 weeks once where I was just like, what is going on? And then last time I was like, 3 seconds. So I don't know. They're all over the map sometimes.
That's the way mine's been on 9 Kickstarters, knock on wood. I mean, the minute I click submit for review, within a handful of minutes, it was approved. This is the first time, but like I said earlier today, Kickstarter was being extremely weird and glitchy and slow. So I don't know if it's something to do with that. Could be. It was supposed to be now.
It's supposed to be live now, Gerald, but he clicked it for a review and it hasn't been pushed through.
Yeah, I'm checking it.
Like 10th Kickstarter, and I don't know. They just are not.
Yeah, your project is in review. Like I said, that's been stuck at that since 8 a.m. this morning, 8:30 this morning.
Yeah.
Here it is 11 hours later. So I don't know. As soon as I see the damn thing go live, get approved, I'll launch it. I'd already
drop the link for the pre-launch, because guys, and remember, if you want some of those exclusive things that are one of one, like those blood metal covers, you got to get there early because they're going to go. So the best thing that you can do right now is to follow the project, that pre-launch link, because when William launches it, let's say it's Monday at 2 p.m., it will email everybody and say, back another project by William Russell, or back this project that you followed. It's live. So you get that notification, because if you're gunning for something specific, it might be gone. This happens all the time on mine. People are like, oh, Lori told me she's launching. I'll show up, when she's launching. And they wanted these sad pancake little figurines. And guess what? They were gone in the first 10 minutes. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Gerald. I appreciate it, man. Yeah. When we last Kickstarter.
You're going to get it. I love it, Gerald. He's like, I don't know the series. You will, and you will be amazed.
Yeah. This one's one hell of a ride. This isn't. I know everybody toots their own horn about their IPs. I get that, but let me explain to you how badass this book is.
I hold my beer, William.
I stood at Comic-Cons explaining the concept of Psycho Sal. People had someone on the fence, not a horror fan, not a comic fan. Give them a copy of issue number 1 for free and tell them to go sit down, read it. If they don't like the book, keep it, do whatever you want to with it, free of charge. If you like it, you still get number 1 for free. Come back and I'll sell you issues 2 through 7 or 2 through 5, 2 through 8. I've been doing that for 2 years. I've not had a single person not come back. Yeah, I've had people walk away, gone 10 minutes, come back and buy issues 1 through 8. So it's like I said, I know everybody toots their own horns, but there's not a damn thing on the market right now that can touch that book. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit what anybody got.
They're like, they read path number 1. They're like, God damn it. Give me the next one.
But that's what I love about what's coming out of some of the indie right now, because there's so much damn passion in the books and so much heart. There's not an agenda. There's not someone standing over someone's shoulder telling them what it has to do.
You can't put this. You have to put this, rearrange this, make it less pages, more pages.
Yeah. And to be fair to people that are scared of indie, I get it. I really do. I understand.
Gerald, I'm stealing that idea.
And because indies definitely earned their black mark. They put out shit books for years. And on top of it, they put out unfulfilled books for years. Yeah. So I get people's fear. I really do. But there are some legit badass stuff that's coming out right now, whether it's Psycho Sal, Path of the Pale Rider, whether it's Don't Pay the Ferryman, stuff coming from Joel, stuff coming from Mike. These people who are creating their books before they ever put them in the Kickstarter. I'm so proud to see some of these people taking lessons out of our books of let me create the book, finish the book as close as finished as I can, and then put it into Kickstarter. Because in my opinion, that's the best damn way to do it. Because now you're not stressing about the book. Like Psycho Sal number 9 is done. For those that don't know, Psycho Sal 9 is done. From page to page, it's done. The only thing we have to put in that book are the 2 advertisement pages.
The ads and the thank you page. That's it.
That's it. That book, and I have done that since day 1 of Psycho Sal. Even the very first book It was 100% done, other than the 2 ad pages. All right, have a good one, Gerald. Before it ever went to Kickstarter, and that's $5,000 out of my pocket. Well, technically it's 4,500, but that was 4,500 out of my pocket before the doors ever opened. And I understand that's a scary thing to do, especially for first-time book. I was terrified that it was going to bite me in my ass. But I'd also made my mind up as a creator and a check mark off of one of my goals in life. That book was going to see the light of day, whether nobody showed up and bought a single damn copy. But luckily, people showed up. So for anybody who's thinking about reading indie, there are some things you want to pay attention to. If there's someone out there that you're interested in their IP, look and see what they've done. Look and see how many books they have out. Look how long it took them to fulfill orders. Because I'm going to be blunt about this. Don't buy nothing from no damn body that takes 2 to 3 years to deliver a book. That's bullshit. Okay. Buy stuff from people that you see consistently putting out books in a relatively respectful time frame. Even if it's 6 months, a book every 6 months, even if it is a book every year, as long as they're doing it consistent, okay. Don't be scared to try that. But when you look at Joe Blow, and his last damn book he did was 3 years. Last Kickstarter or book he published was 3 years ago. Now it's 3 years later, and he's got a Kickstarter that ended 6 months after the other one, and he still hasn't delivered the book, and it's been 2.5 years. Don't put your money with that person. You're probably never going to see that book.
Yeah, and I did start doing this thing called Indie Talk. So I've been making shorts and reels. And so again, if you're just like, I don't know what Psycho Sal, I mean, Psycho Sal is pretty obvious. You can look at the cover and figure it out. But like Path of the Pale Rider, what the heck is this? You know what I mean? Avalon, what is this? Worthy Chaos, what is this? So I'm starting to do these like 15-second reels where I'm like, hey, do you like these 4 movies? Because if you do, read this, you know? And so I'm trying to hit, everybody that I know that is reputable, has good books that are out there, and it all different genres. And so I feel like people a lot of times are like, yeah, indie's cool, but I get overwhelmed when I go into a comic book store because I'm like, I don't know any of these and if I would even like them. So unless that shop owner is like, do you like what kind of movies do you like? Or what,
most of them don't.
Some of them, like Chris is great at that. Charles from Geek Out in Burleson, Texas is great at that, where he's like, what kind of things do you like to read? Tell me movies that you watch. And then they can pinpoint you to, all right, you would really like this, right? Because it's overwhelming with the amount of things that are out there. And sometimes the covers are misleading. So
yeah, they are. Yeah. And the other thing too, now this is, Kevin, are you stuck on, why do you keep saying hi over and over?
He's AI. Kevin has been replaced by a robot.
Well, so just a heads up now, if anybody's talking in chat and we're not acknowledging you, we're not ignoring you. It means we're not seeing your chat. But I've seen Kevin say hi several times.
Well,
so I'm wondering if
over to my Facebook. Out. He's on my, and anytime it has that little like weird circle with a line, that's coming from my Facebook feed. So I think he's jumping back and forth to like stimulate the algorithm, which is cool.
Gotcha. Okay. Could be lagging out a little bit.
I was like, Kevin has been replaced. He is a board.
Is he stuck lagging? But okay. The other thing too is this. Now this is something that we need you guys to do more of. The fans. You guys work like we can sit and toot our own horn all day long, and it doesn't mean shit. We need you guys that are enjoying our books, that are collecting our books. When you guys are getting these new copies in, these new issues in, and you guys are reading them, we need you guys making posts. We need you guys sharing out the book, sharing out your thoughts on it, of course, without any spoilers, but sharing your thoughts about what you liked about the book. If you're enjoying the book, it is so imperative. Like, we need you guys to help in that scenario. So please do us that favor. If you're supporting us, if you're fans of what we do, please make the posts and share them out. It doesn't matter whether you think
Oh, Kevin.
Anybody on your Facebook page is going to be interested is irrelevant. Share it anyway, tag us on it, because that's equivalent to leaving reviews for a business, you know, and we
Yeah, and
need that.
just, you know, when it comes to entertainment, word of mouth is king. You know what I mean?
Huge.
There's movies that come out where they're like I went and saw Weapons, and my buddy Kevin Davis that was in the chat earlier was like, I'm gonna go see Weapons. I waited until he saw it, but I wasn't gonna recommend it based on what I saw. You know what I mean? So we could talk about it.
Right.
But if it's a good movie, I would have been like, oh my God, Kevin, go see Weapons, right? It's gonna mess with your mind. And so again, when we get excited about things, it encourages other people to,
Yeah,
you know,
it does. I mean, I've read tons of novels because someone told me I need to go read it.
And then you get hooked, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you know, I'm going to put that one on the fans. We need you guys to start doing more of that. We love the fact that you love our IPs and the books, but man, we need you guys to do the word of mouth.
It's
It
so
is so
hard
important.
to market these days. Everybody wants to rip you off
Yep.
in marketing, and your own personal algorithm will only get you so far. So
And
in
then
order for us to
bogs
find
down.
new fans, we really need your help to kind of get outside of our own bubble. So,
Yeah.
but that's why
And then-
like collaborating helps, because William and I have a lot of crossover fans at this point, a lot, you know? And so that's the whole point of like bringing variant artists in, is like, I introduce people to your work and you introduce people to my story. That's the whole point. And we all succeed, right? Because you love the ending of Weapons? Maybe, right? I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I think it was okay. The longer you watch that movie, you realize there's a bunch of stuff in there that makes absolutely no sense why it's there. Like the ending was great when the kids went feral, and I'm just going to say that because I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. But like, I felt good about it walking out of the movie theater. And then I was like, but wait, what about this? And why was that in the dream? And why were they dreaming about this? And why did he throw up? Because that didn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like it just started bothering me. So I think it was lazy writing.
Probably, you know, and we see it a lot in movies now. That's one of the reasons I've quit going to the theater. I used to be a big, massive theater nut. I love the theater.
Yeah.
And whether it's comedies, action, horror, suspense, whatever it is, if it looked like a good movie, my ass was in the theater. I don't even, to be honest with you, I can't really remember the last time I went to the theater. I know it hasn't been the last 2 or 3 years. I didn't even
go see Demon Slayer in the theater by myself. No one else wants to see it with me, so I'm gonna go by myself. But yeah, it's like we hardly ever go. I didn't see Superman. I didn't see Fantastic Four. I'm not interested.
The only one that I didn't go see that I regret not going, which is still may be there, but I don't think so. And that was the 50th anniversary of Jaws.
Oh yeah, that I missed that too, but that would have been cool to see it on the big screen.
I forgot all about it, and so I'm sure I've missed it because usually that's just a 1 day, 1 week.
Usually, pretty quick.
And
but
I'm
this
sure
is another point that we have, and you and I are not alone in this. There's a ton of people that will say, there's just so much repeat right now. It's reboot and prequel and sequel. And so you as a fan can be like, oh, I have a great new story, but you can't get it you're not going to see it on streaming. You're not going to get it at the movies. It's in a secret place. It's a place for only a few nerds have access to. It's called Indie Comics.
That's right.
Let me let you in on this secret.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here. We just, like I said, so for those that are watching the video, sadly, we cannot launch Psycho Sal #9 tonight like we planned. For some reason, Kickstarter, I think, has been acting a little weird today. I was having some loading issues earlier, some saving issues earlier. So I don't know if that added to the issue. Out of 8 Kickstarters, when I hit the submit for review button, it's always been approved within a handful of minutes. It's still sitting at review. So, and I can't launch it until it's approved through review. So sadly, we cannot launch tonight, but I still wanted to go live. I wanted to hang out with Lori and Andrea and us talk about Psycho Sal and give you guys some insight into some of the story, talk about Path of the Pale Rider a little bit, and what has been going on with some of those books. And if you guys aren't reading them, I can't stress it enough. You need to be reading Psycho Sal. You need to be reading Path of the Pale Rider. You need to be reading Don't Pay the Ferryman and the books that Chris is putting out too. They're very good. So Lori, give everybody real quick a little shout out about your book. Uh-oh, there's a little goodie.
I've been working on things and not posting them. I've been trying to stay off social media for a couple of days, but I'm going to start dumping things on the internet. So I got the poker cards from our stretch goal. These are the packaged sad pancakes. The sad pancakes are all in. So if you are a lucky person that scored one of these dogs, they are so freaking cool with these. I put these together. You're welcome. I got all my hot sauce boxes in. So I got, I've been doing the 3-box for a while. So if you got in the 3-box, I got a 5-box. William, look at this massive box of hot sauce people are getting. Like,
oh my God.
I have to actually experiment with my shipping process because people are getting like giant boxes of hot sauces campaign.
Yeah.
So far, I think I have 43 bottles of hot sauce that are going to be out this campaign.
Nice. But then, that's what makes them fun, though. Like, Cursed Moonlight, I have werewolf hunter kits.
Yes. I always do a secret reward, and I just released what the secret reward is. It is a adult size bear onesie.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to be sewing Big James eyes on him. So it's going to have like scars and shit on it. It's going to be great. Look at this. Yeah, these are cool.
Yeah, they had actual silver bullets in it, and they had the Colt 45 replica gun in it and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, that's what makes indie fun.
Yeah.
And and not to mention the crazy stuff we do for stretch goals and things like that. That's stuff you're not going to find in a comic shop buying mainstream books. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more passion, a lot more heart that goes into what we do. Not to mention you guys get to interact with us on a personal level in many situations. You're not dealing with some faceless thing that the only time they ever say hi to you is when you bump into their table at a show. So it's a whole different ballgame with indie. Well, give everybody.
The books are coming. Gilbert's still working on art. It's one of those things like where the story in issue 7 is so big. It's like issue 9 of Psycho Sal. We really can't show you much art because it's a spoiler. And we showed the first 4 pages of issue 7, and that's all I can share. Usually, as the book is in production, I share some art updates. I can't share anything. So that's why I'm like, look at this merch, look at that merch, look at this merch. It's like, because I can't show you art.
So issue number 8. So quick update then. What about issue number 7? Is that still at the printers, or when do you think you'll have?
That's the one I'm talking about. Gilbert is finishing it because that's the one. Like, it's a big issue, and it needs to be perfect because.
Okay. So what about? And of course, I have
8.
Yeah, issue 8. I have 2 covers on issue 8. One for issue 8, and then a reissue variant for issue number 2.
And that will be in the spring. Because we were at the point where we could finish 7 and then rush another one out. And I didn't want to make the team work over Thanksgiving, Christmas, holidays. So I was like, well, why? Because I'm nice.
All that. Tell their ass to get back to work. They can stop for an hour and go eat.
No, it gives us plenty of time. We can still do stuff for 8, but we're not on a time crunch to get it out before Christmas. You know what I mean?
They can eat their damn turkey at the computer while they're working. Okay?
They'd be like, Lori's the worst. Lori's a slave driver. Lori has wit.
There's nothing wrong with time off. I took time off yesterday and drove to the post office and came back.
So we're planning on February launch for 8.
Cool. I'm excited for that one. I kind of got my idea of what I'm wanting to do for those covers. So we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it because things change in 8. There's big stuff that happens in 7, and nothing is the same. So we have to talk about where 8 is and what it looks like. Because it's completely different. So, but I won't be starting those covers till probably around. I'll probably start working on those around November. So.
Okay.
There's something I was just about to ask you about.
Well, then after 8, I'm going. there'll be another volume.
Yeah. And then, of course, for those that may not know, Lori's going to be writing Cycle of the Blood Moon. So that's my next big IP, 30 plus books. And that is werewolves, vampires, demons, angels, witches. That is pretty much Lord of the Rings meets supernaturals.
Gimme.
Yep. That one's going to be big and it's going to be intense. That's going to be one hell of a ride. I'm super excited about that one. So update on Cursed Moonlight. I talked to the printer the other day. They're printing the books as we speak. They're supposed to be shipping out here in the next week or so. As soon as I get them in, I'll let everybody know they're here. Don't forget, the last weekend this month, I will be at Chattanooga Comic-Con in Chattanooga, Tennessee for that event. And then, of course, October, I will be everywhere from Big Texas Comic-Con in Texas to a signing event at Gabe's Caves Comics and Collectibles, to another Comic-Con event in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And then, of course, the big one, your boy will be back for year 2 of New York Comic-Con. And Andrea is going to get to go with me to that one. She's never been to New York. So, Lori, give them your spiel real quick, where they can find you, what they need to be watching for, and can they go back and order any covers of Psychos? I mean, of Path of the Pale Rider number 7, so they can get my covers if they missed out.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
So I'm Lori Calcaterra, writer creator of Path of the Pale Rider and Psycho Sal and other things. I am on all the socials, but really you should follow me on Facebook. If you're reading Path, join our group because we do shenanigans. We just named an undead pig. His name is Kevin Bacon. Thank you. I'm going to be sending out a survey. We're going to be smashing pumpkins in the backyard for real. Actually, I'm hoping that people vote the chainsaw. I want to do the chainsaw this time. But I also host a podcast every week called the Tuesday Morning Brew. We have a blast. I have creators on all the time, and we talk about everything comics. We talk about what's new, what's fresh, what's popping, what people are passionate about. You can get copies of Path of the Pale Rider. If you miss the campaign, you can get books because late pledges are still turned on, and Williams covers, both of them are still there. So the cover for 1 and the cover for 7. Next campaign, if you are new to Path, there will actually be, well, I mean, like, even if you're not new to Path, you can just get a William Russell collection if you missed out. Yep. Because some of them are out of print right now, but I will re-release them. So there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yep. We're going to do an angry artist, an angry path. You're on the angry path.
That's right. There you go.
So you can get all 8 in one collection, even the ones that are out of print, because number 5 is out of print. I think number 4 is close. Yep. So we'll make sure that you get William Russell Path of the Pale Rider collection going. So, but yeah, I'm going to be at Red River Comic-Con this month. I was supposed to go to Mockingbird Lane this month too, but that one, unfortunately, the venue got damaged, so it's rescheduled for March. So I'll probably be at a couple more. I usually get invited to stuff here and there, but Red River is probably the next biggest con I'm going to be at in Oklahoma. So
awesome. And guys, make sure you guys go over there to the Kickstarter. Like she said, since she has late pledges turned on, you can go get my cover for issue number 7. And then my variant cover for issue number 1. And for those wondering why that happened, when I came on doing covers for Path of the Pale Rider, I came on at issue number 3. So I've done every book since 3, and we were like, well, let's just make a variant available to my fans to where they can have me on all the books. And I love the covers. I think they're 2 of my best covers to date, in my opinion, especially the cowboy, the Heading West cover. You so need to put that guy in the book somewhere. He needs to be a character.
Oh, he'll be in. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Oh, good. He needs to be a bad guy.
Yep. No. However, you do. I mean, like, you have to remember that the zombies are not necessarily bad guys in my book. They're just people, but they're chaotic because their brains rotten, right? So they're not like villains. They're not eating people. They're not craving brains, but they might run you over at the car because they forgot that you matter.
Yeah, I think he needs to be like not eating people bad. I think he just needs to be a bad dude, like just a straight up bad dude. You
He was
know?
bad
No,
before.
if he's in
Yeah,
issue
he was
7,
bad
bad
before
things
he
are
got.
going to happen. There's bad things happening in issue 7, William. Bad,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
bad. So if he's in
Oh, he
issue
could
7,
eat
he's
Kevin
having a
Bacon.
bad day.
He could eat Kevin Bacon.
The fans would come for me. They get so attached to these animals, like Sad Pancake, the little dog. They're like, if Sad Pancake is having a bad day in issue 7, we riot. And I was just like, he's not in it, I promise. Like,
You should make Kevin his pet. He
Kevin
should.
is we're gonna actually be naming a whole animal farm of dead animals. Because
Oh
my
my
buddy Eric Boris, he goes by Zombie 13 Customs, he makes all these, right? And so last time I was on his podcast, he had an entire like petting farm of
God.
animals that he zombified. There was an alpaca, I think it was a llama, there was a chicken, there was a there was a cat. We already had the Sad Pancake, and then there's this pig. It's hilarious. So it's like now, of course, my fans are like, how do we get one? And I'm like, my friend Eric, you're going to be making undead animals for the rest of your life. Sorry.
Yeah, people are like they've
I
been
want that.
asking me. They want a Psycho Sal statue so damn bad, and I'm trying to figure out how to get one. Whether it's a statue like a little 10-inch statue or something like that, or whether it's maybe a pop. I've got to figure it out because people are asking for it like crazy.
I do pops. You know that, right? Yeah, I have.
I know you sold pops, but I didn't know you were making pops.
Yeah, I do. Like, they're really short run. It's just whatever people order on the Kickstarter because they're expensive, but they're custom made. I can send you the link to the studio. But yeah, they love it. They love it because they're usually making like cake toppers for bridezillas. Yeah. And so when I'm like, hey, you want to make an undead bear? They're like, say less.
So they just send them a picture of what Psycho Sal looks like, and they just
that's it. I send them pictures from the comic.
Okay.
And then she'll ask me questions like, what color are his shoes? Like, if the picture doesn't have like, what does his shoes look like? What's he got on his back? But they can sculpt all of it. So you could do Jim, 3D printer would be an option if someone will make the file for you. So someone will still have to sculpt it and then scan it and then correct the scan to make an STL file. I did that for the Big Boy James. Hold on a second. It cost me about $200.
Okay, because my issue is what I really want is like a damn 16-inch Psycho Sal statue of him standing on the edge of a rooftop. And
yeah, that would be cool. That will be expensive. So this cost me like $200. And then he made me the file so I could 3D print him. I haven't cleaned this one up yet, but so
well, see, here's my issue. Every single asshole that I've talked to, and I'm calling them that because I know they're trying to nickel and dime people, because I know people who do 3D printing, is they want $1,000 to do a file.
No.
And I'm like, hell no. Then when I go, well, how much is the 3D printing? Oh, well, that's another $800. I'm like, no. And it's been like that with every damn one I've talked to. And it's ridiculous. I'm not paying that. That's stupid. I know what it takes to print a 3D. Hell, I know what it takes to print a damn quarter scale 3D printer. I know the material it uses.
Yeah, it's cheap.
But I'm not paying him $800 to do a 3D file. I'm not. That's just ridiculous. Hell, I could probably hire somebody and pay them $1,000 or more and have a damn actual clay sculpted one done where I have the master,
That's exactly what I did. It cost me like $200. So it's clay sculpted. And then he scans that one. This is Carissa's contact. So I don't know. But she dominates his time because, with her, she does all those cryptids. He's sculpting like all these cryptids for her. But then she gets the STL file when he's done as part of the deal. So now it's like I've been 3D printing those Big Boy Jameses for fun. I got like 12 of them. I'm going to send them to random people from the Kickstarter because I can.
Yeah. That's what I want to do, because I'd love to have a high detail statue, because I'm not a pop person. I don't give really two shits about pop.
You should have one sculpted, but you got to find the right sculptor to do it.
Yep. And that's been the issue, because every time
You know, my buddy
$4,000.
Eric,
Huh?
he takes figurines, like the really expensive ones, and he modifies them.
Hmm.
So you could do that too, where it's like you could get a base that's similar to the build of Psycho Sal, and then he can kind of sculpt over that. So you're not starting from scratch,
Right,
but
right.
you know what I mean? You would still have
Yeah,
something.
to be fair, I really hadn't thought about that. You know, I figured it'd be easier, cheaper to find someone to 3D model it in the computer.
Oh yeah.
And I hadn't thought about hiring an old school damn sculptor who's kind of most people don't use anymore and paying
They're
them
still
to
out
do it.
there. Yeah, they're still
Oh,
out there.
I know, but that used to be the expensive route,
Yeah.
you know. And now all of a sudden, these damn 3D printer guys and these modelers all of a sudden think, you know, they're slaving away over some shit. And I'm like,
it's like the new scam. It's the new scam because you'll get like 17 friend requests from all these 3D modelers, and you're like, no.
Yeah, it'll run you about 800 for the file. Like,
get out. See
you
you later.
I'm good.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to get off here. Thank you, Lori, for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. Sorry, everybody, about the false pre-launch tonight. I know most of you guys are
hit that pre-launch,
but
hit the pre-launch so that way you know when it goes live. That's it.
Lori,
That's all I
I said you didn't hear what I said, do you? I said sorry about the misfire on the launch. I know most of you men can relate to that, but I'm just kidding, guys. Don't get mad. But no, again, I don't know. Let me check it one more time. Before we leave.
Andrea's over there like, shh, don't say that.
Wait, what the hell? That was weird. Project still in review. Okay, yeah, something's going on with Kickstarter. It's being weird. That was weird what it just did. But anyway, we're going to get off here. Sorry for that, guys. As soon as it gives me the update that it's been approved, I will launch it. Like, again, 8 Kickstarters. I've never had it take more than a few minutes to approve my Kickstarters. And Kickstarter has been acting weird today with some glitching. So I don't know if that's part of the problem. But as soon as I know, I promise you guys I'll make an announcement and we'll get it launched. But otherwise, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you guys for supporting Path of Hell Rider, Psycho Sal, Don't Pay the Ferryman, and these other indie books that we talk about and we share. Make sure you guys are talking about our books. Make sure you're sharing our books. We need your word of mouth tremendously on this type of stuff. Share it out to your favorite comic groups, your favorite writing groups, or art groups, etc. But you guys have a wonderful night. We'll see you guys later. Thanks again, Lori, and I hope you have a good evening.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for having me on the show.
No problem. Have a good night.